doors have opened. The timer has started. Welcome to your weekly dose of post-apocalyptic mayhem. In the year 2115, a Penance RPG production.
Welcome to episode 14 of 2115. Who are you, what are you, and what is your thoughts on the new bunker? Starting with Susie.
Hi, I'm Susie Q. I'm playing Dr. Frances Stein, the inventive halfling. And her thoughts on the bunker is that it's absolutely awesome. She's got a lab space, it's in a basement, it's everything a mad scientist could possibly hope for.
Alright, next we have Rowan.
Hello, I am Rowan. I am playing Index, a little lab rat, actual rat. She's pretty pumped about the new bunker. I like to think she's semi-sharing Tamdam's room and the doctor's room together, because she is only a rat. Like, she only needs a cardboard box in the corner. She's good to go.
She's got her own little mini lab station set up in the lab for sure.
Yeah, like one half of the desk is made into a tiny extra lab
Yeah.
to bum around with.
Yeah, exactly. She's got like tiny little pliers and stuff.
I like to think it's full of welding equipment she can barely use, but she's so used to it because Tamdam.
Yes.
Index tried to use like an actual soldering iron. Literally like a javelin.
Next we have Dragon.
Hello, I'm playing Irwaz, the half-elf Aqua. We're pretty happy with the new bunker, but still somewhat suspicious, although mostly that suspicion is of the crab cultist and their strangely divided society.
Yes. Next we have that crab cultist, Belray.
Hi there, I am the crab cultist, Richard Clawford. I ain't really known the other one, this is my first bunker. I ain't really seen the bunker before, but it seems like cozy. I ain't sure about that big fly though, that don't seem right.
Alright, and finally, Tom.
Hey up. I'm the Roomba, the floaty one with Newsy and a obsession with music. And I found a little zinger phone or whatever the heck it was, which was pretty exciting. But other than that, I'm not too interested in the lab around me. I was more interested in the musical instrument.
Was it a metaphone you got last week?
Oh, a automaton.
That's the one. So, no Amy this week because, and I quote, "I'm stuck in Aberdeen! Ah!" Hopefully she's back at some point. So, what happened last week?
I was in a cage. I wasn't too happy about it, but I'm out now, so that's pretty good. I got me some shrimp.
So we were offered the opportunity, after the crab cultists attacked the party, to move into a new bunker if we took a captured crab cultist with us. And we dithered around and tried to work out how we were going to transport things and what the best way of transporting them was. So we ended up borrowing the cheese van again, because I didn't want him to know where our new bunker was, basically. And he was really confused, but we got it back to him in the end, so it's fine.
He had a nice nap and we borrowed his van and returned her in the exact same condition.
Also, tragic backstory TM continues to unfurl.
Yes, there was a mysterious note about Huberta. So,
Oh yes.
Officer Tyre ran off to sort out his relationship and hopefully find his missing and not dead daughter with his adorable husband, Mr. E, who we have decided is a letter E.
To be honest, it actually sounded more like someone had taken their daughter's body.
Someone
Just,
taken her.
a bit of casual grave diggery,
But
Yeah.
necromancy.
Bit disturbing.
So, you ask Mr. Richard Clawford where the best place to start is, and he tells you that there is a small junkyard nearby that he knows the crab cult have been procuring parts from.
Yeah, there's like this junkyard nearby that my brother Jimmy, he been sending his nader whales over there. They been like stealing stuff, y'all.
Stealing?
Yeah, y'all know like when you take stuff and like you ain't supposed to be taking them. It's like they ain't yours.
No.
No, you see, to the doctor, that is normal.
Oh, it's just one of those times.
Yeah.
Well, I hope the great crab mother looks down on you one day and like you see the area ways.
I doubt it. She's pretty much a kleptomaniac.
I believe in science. I don't believe in any gods.
What you
Yeah, but
believe in is adhering to the true murder hobo mentality.
I don't murder everybody.
No one said a murder hobo had to murder everybody.
And I'm not a hobo. I have a house.
You have
Can
a
I
lab.
pull out?
It's different.
Can I pull out Polaroid from my hoodie of like me chilling with this giant like 10-story foot crab, having like drinks at like a Pumbaa? Yeah, but like I got this picture. She's like right there.
So that's your mom.
No, that's the crab mother. She ain't my mom exactly. She's a mother to all, you know. But like literally, nah, she ain't my mom.
Is this Loretta or is this the big grandmother you described called Lucille?
Well, I mean, it's like 10 stories tall apparently, so I would say it's
Well, it
probably
could be
the same.
Lucille.
Is the picture
Yeah,
just
that's
like
the
you with 1 foot? Like beaming the thumbs up.
I'm sitting on top of her on a lawn chair. It's cool. She's like, get up there, like, we'll get y'all tan, but like, I ain't got like skin, so I don't tan. But y'all know, you get it.
You
We're
don't have...
warm up there.
I really don't.
Do
get it.
we?
Wait, you don't have skin at all?
I mean, like, there's some of it's skin, but like, that bit's covered by like clothes. Like, I ain't gonna be running around with that on, you know.
You got a crab arm and a crab head, but do you have a neck?
In theory, yes.
So,
But look, I was saying, like, you just want to see more about, like, what's going on with those bad crab people. Like, we should go mosey on over to that junkyard and, like, we'll find some of them there. I'd be willing to bet my last piece of shrimp on it.
I'll take that bet.
I want to, like, whisper over to Index, like, what you don't know is I already ate all the shrimp.
I'm gonna inch slowly away from the crab person. I feel mildly threatened.
I feel like this is one of the least threatening characters I've made.
Are you sure about that?
maybe not if you're rat-sized.
Whilst you're technically not threatening, the sudden and conspicuous absence of threat is somehow more disturbing than it being, you know, obvious. It's almost more sinister.
Are you saying that him not being a gun-wielding tire is actually scarier?
Yes, because at least with a gun-wielding tie, you know where you stand. This little shady guy, I mean, he's all friendly. I mean, how are you supposed to react to that?
He also has the same voice as Tex, which just instantly sets off my alarm bells.
I mean, it's slightly different. Like,
he's dodgy or dangerous at all.
I feel like it's a little bit lower, but like, I ain't good at voices, so like, you're just gonna have to like, you know, narrative dissonance. It's a little bit different, like to y'all guys, but like, I can't do that many voices.
So, if we go after these bad crab cult people, will we get paid?
I mean, not in any like real sense, nah, but like in a spiritual sense, probably.
I'd rather for the real sense. I've got a lab to stock.
In fairness, we've kind of got a free lab, so
We have.
we could go and have a look, because if the bad crab people have been acquiring things that aren't theirs,
We could liberate them?
we could.
Oh, this sounds very good. Will we take a helicopter or a van?
How far away did you say they were, Richard?
About 20 miles.
They're about 4 minutes away on foot.
That's what I said, about 20 miles.
That's very fast.
Look, I ain't really gone to school or nothing.
That's fairly obvious.
What do they teach you at crab school?
I mean, I wouldn't know, I didn't go.
Let's go find some crab
Is it
cultists.
nautical miles, and that's why we're
Take
getting
their
confused?
stuff.
Exactly, it's nautical miles.
If we head over on foot, we're probably going to be less obtrusive as we get close. So let's do that.
Okay, we'll leave Stan in charge of the lab. Stan, you're in charge.
Alright. You needing anything done?
Nah, just don't burn the place down. And she will hand...
not worry about burning it up.
Okay, burning it up to the ground. Don't do that.
Right.
Here's an agent, and you can call us on it. We might not answer. If anything happens, you can call us on it.
All right.
And you have to be nice to the fluffies.
What if they want to do science?
Oh, let them do science in the lab. That's fine.
Any science?
Well, they're allowed to do any science as long as they keep the door closed and locked, and have closed all the blast doors and all that sort of stuff.
All right. Well, if that's what you want.
And don't forget to feed Fred McFly.
Oh yeah.
Jam to the
Fly.
top shelf.
Yes.
So you leave Stan in charge. As you walk away, you hear Stan to and go, apparently you're free to do science. And they all start cheering, and you hear the sound speakers being moved at high speed.
Doctor's so proud.
We'll get back and they're just mixing different coloured liquids.
That's fine. Yay, the fluffies like science.
We're learning so quickly.
So, are you going on foot?
I think so.
So you all climb out of the ladder, leading out the hatch. Are you just going to walk to the front of this junkyard?
Yeah, go up to it. I mean, I assume if it's a junkyard, it's got a full fence all the way around, so maybe scout the edges first.
Alright, as you have a look in the junkyard, you get near and you notice that the walls, they look very ramshackle. Like a even light breath on them could bring them down. They really don't seem that strong at all.
I brandish my shovel meaningfully.
As you move round towards the gate into it, you notice that there is a very crude sign saying Joe's Junkyard.
Do we have anything to sell to the junkyard? Because that would probably be a good cover story.
There's the cheese van, but...
Not our van.
Oh,
And it's not next to us now anyway.
in my pockets, I have a bronze wristwatch, a gold earring, a stack of old-style money.
And a leg.
I mean, it's only that a quick 20-mile walk back to the bunker. I'm pretty sure we can go grab something.
I have the worst idea. Goldie. He's not here.
Just dismantle like one of his arms and one of his legs. And just be like, oh, we could use these.
Or we could say that the doctor is looking for some parts.
That's also true.
I mean, the obvious one is there's also the bits of text.
That's true.
true. as
The
well.
doctor has
Got the-
plans for the remains of
his head,
Tex.
Am I going to play some sort of weird mecha zombie text at some point?
No, you're going to be a mecha suit for Index.
Oh god, poor Index.
Better than
Brains, yeah.
being a zombie skull.
Just like a skeleton fish in the fish bowl.
Oh no. Didn't we lose the body anyway?
You lost the body.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Just really like the idea of it.
Alright, so what are you going to do?
I think we should go in and the doctor should ask about some of the parts that she's looking to pick up, while the rest of us take a good look around and see if we can find anything suspicious.
Alright. So you walk in, you notice that there seems to be massive piles of stuff all over the thing, apart from one corner where there's a tiny pile of what look like very old fish.
That one's got a beard on it. That must be a pretty old fish. Sorry.
I'm so sad.
Okay.
Like it's got a little walking cane, even though it's a fish.
Can I go and search for any possible musical instruments alongside the autophone that I'm carrying around with?
Are you bringing the orophone with you?
Oh yeah, I brought it with me.
Tomatone.
Omatone. Alright. So what's everyone else doing?
Well, the doctor would be looking for Joe. She's here to
Yeah.
purchase some scraps, so she's gonna go looking for Joe.
Alright.
I'm going to take the doctor to the shack because he's my old pal Joe. Like we go way back.
Yeah.
Hey Joe, I got someone to meet y'all. She wants to buy stuff. I don't know what, but
Alright.
stuff.
You hear a door creaking and you look over and you find there's this sort of half caravan that seems to be converted into an office, and a sort of scrawny looking man leans out and goes, "What's she wanting?"
I mean, I don't know. I didn't really ask. I just said y'all probably have it.
She's gonna reach into her lab coat and bring out a roll of paper, and she'll do that thing where she flicks it out and it drops and it's a list. I mean, she is only a halfling, so it doesn't need to be particularly long, but she'll drop it and then this scroll of paper will just all fold out to the floor. And she's,
list.
just going to start rattling off parts. So she's like, I'm looking for a fan bell. I need a catalytic converter.
Alright, well, I'll have a look, see what I can find.
Thank you.
Right, he sort of takes the list from you, scratches his head. You see him take out an agent and hold it up against and look at the screen, and he looks even more confused.
Hey, when did you learn to read, Joe?
Oh, I've been designing my own app now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes in your agent. Come here, I'll show you.
The doctor will go over and look.
Right, he asks to get the agent off the doctor.
She'll lend him the agent.
Takes the agent, and then you notice it must be downloading something, because the phone suddenly started slowing down dramatically. There you go, I think it's working.
She will poke at the app on her agent.
Right, you hold it up to this, right? And he holds the bit of paper out.
And she'll...
Yeah.
So,
Beep! And it goes...
Fish!
See?
I know.
It's fish, so it goes in the fish pile.
But I'm not looking for fish.
What?
I'm not looking for fish. I'm looking for parts. For engineering.
Alright, hang on. And he takes the agent off you. And you see him poking, like, one finger, like, moving through things, and he hands it back to you. He goes, there you go, I fixed it.
So she'll beep it again.
Beep. There you go, metal, that's parts in it.
Yeah, but it's not
And it
helping
goes in
me.
the parts pile. And he gestures to the massive everything else in the entire junkyard behind him.
Okay, excellent. Why just go and look through the scrap pile, shall I?
Well, it's the metal pile, not the scrap pile. The scrap pile's over there. And he points to what looks like a very mossy covered heap. And he goes, that must have some fish in it. It's got green.
I'm gonna go look through the metal pile now. And she will walk away. And as she's walking away, she's going to delete that app off the agent.
The more she tries to do things, the slower her phone gets. Oh, sorry, the slower the agent gets.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's Joe for y'all. He got too many ideas in his head that they all kind of have to like fight for space, and they kind of get mixed up, you know.
I'll have you know I'm doing it for Mother Earth.
I keep telling y'all, Joe, it ain't Mother Earth, it's the Mother Crab.
It's Mother Earth. I got told this. I found it in the ditch. And he brings out this soggy bit of paper that just says, respect Mother Earth. See?
Joe, you know y'all can't read.
Oh, I didn't read it. I found it and asked someone and they told me.
No, man, that says crab. Look, E-A-R-T-H, that spells crab.
No, you spell crab with a K.
Look.
Oh my god.
Actual conversations from up north.
So,
Where were we?
The
the
doctor was...
starting to look through piles of metal.
Yeah.
And the rest of us were looking around.
Finding instruments.
Yeah. 18 plus 4 is number.
22.
Thank you, scientists.
You're welcome.
Alright, Tam looks around and eventually he pokes one bit and he feels a sort of static charge go through it and he hears a strange noise and immediately realises that he's found a theremin. Or
I don't know what
theremin,
this
whatever
is,
you'd
but I
rather
love
call
it.
Does Tam exert a magnetic field?
Enough to put energy through a theremin, yes.
So while this is going on, Irwaz would like to be looking around for evidence of other crab cultists and looking to see if they can spot anything that's hidden in the scrap that's not actually scrap.
Alright. While looking around the junk piles, you do find that there's another couple of caravans, like really close to each other, and you notice there's a very crude sign outside one of the doors.
Oh? Can I read it?
Roll literacy. Yep, you read it as the really badly and completely misspelled version of Her Lady of the Snapping Claw.
Her Lady of the what claw?
Snapping Claw.
Snapping, okay. Are there any windows? Can I try and look through the windows and see what's going on?
Most of the windows look like they've been heavily boarded up. Like, imagine a crab trying to hold a hammer and then nailing something up with it. That's about how crude the windows look.
Okay, but can I look through them? Like, are they...
Solid wood, because they've had boards put over them, but you can try and find a gap of them if you want.
Okay, I will try and find a gap initially. And if not, I'll probably skulk around them and see if I can hear anything.
You don't immediately find any cracks. The cracks you do see through, they're quite dark inside.
Okay. Can I hear any noise from inside?
Here are strange... It's kind of like a sort of...
Oh. Kind of half chittering type
half
noise?
chittering, but with a very wet sounding chitter.
Okay. Lovely. Well, I will ask Richard about that at some point.
Yeah, sorry, I was still like arguing with Joe. No, man, it says crab.
Look, I told you for the last time, crabs are spelled with a K. Also, it says here that to save Mother Earth, we need to do her clit. Look, here. Says recycle it, here.
Sorry.
I'm in pain.
So while that conversation is going on, moving swiftly away, is there the sort of junkyard that might have like scrap cars that might be
There's
salvageable?
loads of very rusted, burnt out cars, but there's loads of like shells at least of cars lying around.
So could I spend the rest of this session building a car, assuming no fights or anything kick off, which is what I will do.
How are you going to move the cars around?
Well, it's a junkyard, so I'm going to assume that he's got some of those junkyard type machinery for like moving shit around. Or is that too much of an assumption?
Let's
So
see.
maybe he's got a forklift or one of those magnety things.
He has no machinery at all.
It's no
He's got piles
machinery.
of junk and some dead fish.
Okay. Well, in that case, she's going to like pick a car and then she's just going to look for engine parts and just drag them out of the junk.
Go full
By
circle
hand.
challenge on it. Okay.
Yeah. That's what she's going to try and do.
Alright.
Do you want me to roll
Yeah, let's see how you get on with it.
engineering, foraging? What do you want?
Engineering, definitely on this one. Eventually, after digging around, how big a car are you looking for, just out of interest?
Essentially a van, something that will take us.
Alright. You do find a sort of flatbed truck you get working.
Yes!
It definitely seems like it devours fuel, and you notice that there's fuel leaking from under it, but it runs.
Awesome.
Very
Okay.
rusted, but it runs.
It's a fixer-upper.
Mm-hmm.
I can work with a fixer-upper. We have a garage now. Okay. Yeah, that's all she's pretty much doing unless anything else kicks off right now. She's thoroughly distracted and forgotten entirely about all the crab people. You guys have essentially brought her to like a nerd's dream, so she's distracted in the candy shop.
So, what is Index doing?
Like, I guess she'll just kind of be quietly snooping around, trying to avoid detection while also getting grips with the place. Having a posy.
Alright. Is Tam Tam excited to try and dig out his Thurman?
Oh yeah.
So we'll cut back to Irwaz or Richard, depending which one of you wants to progress this any further.
I am happy to not go first.
So I can hear that there is probably crab or crab people in these caravans.
Yep.
Okay. Does it smell like crab people? Does it smell like crab?
It smells kind of briny, so yeah, maybe.
Okay. So Irwaz is going to make their way back over to Richard and be like, so,
How about we ask her to read it? She's an independent, she's not like you and me.
I mean, look, I don't know what you all mean by that. Like, I was just a normal guy like you, and like her, and like everyone just sees like the crab claw and things. We's different, but like I swear to God, we's not.
I would be happy to read something for you if I can.
Look, y'all just tell him it says crab, not earth.
If you give me the writing, I can read it for you.
He hands you a very crumpled piece of paper. On it does say save mother, and then there's another couple of words that have been like ripped out, and then earth is at the bottom. It
Ah,
looks quite pornographic.
right.
It's a
What?
very specific mix of words.
Yeah, I'm wondering how I could get to that from what I thought it was originally.
I'm pretty sure we could find a way of that making sense.
See, I thought it was a climate change pamphlet.
Oh no, I'm sure we could find a way, but it's more most people who would be writing these sort of articles finding a way.
Yeah.
Okay. It's like, oh, so it does say save mother, but the word that's meant to come after that is missing. so I don't know if it says save Mother Crab or save Mother Earth.
Yeah,
It
but
does have Earth down at the bottom, but that's not actually connected to the bit at the top, so it could be either of them.
yeah, but like, why would it say crab twice? Like Earth twice. I mean, like, sure, it just makes more sense to be crab.
Are you mocking my religious document?
I ain't mocking nobody's religious nothing. Since when we use a religious man, Joe?
I've found God, I'll have you know, Richard.
Yeah, he was in the bathroom the whole time, apparently.
He was placing a hand on Richard's shoulder. I was like, it's best not to argue with people about their religion. It usually doesn't get very far.
I mean, look, who am I here? I'm just trying to save his immortal soul and all that, but like, hey, what do I know?
I'm now a member of Her Lady of the Snapping Claw.
Oh, could you tell me about that, please?
It's on the pamphlet.
Which pamphlet?
It's that one, and he puts a very thick finger prodding on the thing you're holding in your hands.
Can I see more writing on it?
There is actually no more writing on it, but he thinks there is.
Right. Okay.
Y'all mean Priscilla? Priscilla's barely even a crab cousin. Never mind no crab mother.
She's got a really long tail.
Now I know you ain't talking about Priscilla.
He just looks at you really confused and just goes, yeah, the long one, not like you, the one with the tail.
I don't know no crabs that ain't got no tail. Are you sure you ain't thinking about the apron?
Maybe horseshoe crabs again? They've got...
I'll
Yeah, I
show you.
suspect as much.
I
What?
did
Yeah.
shoot.
He walks back to the thing, and then you hear a sound like a really heavy gate being opened. And as this heavy gate is opened, you notice this gigantic mechanical lobster.
Oh,
See? Told you. She's got a tail.
yes. Yes, she does have a tail.
That ain't no crab, Joe. I ain't so sure what that is, but that ain't no crab.
He's
Richard,
got
you're
claws.
careful. And that thing is huge. So
He's
let's
got
just accept
claws
it.
and the little leg things like you've got, Richard.
It's definitely a crustacean.
I mean, is crustaceans normally made of metal?
It could be a new kind of exoskeleton.
I think there's actually a species of crab that has iron in its shell.
I think there is, yeah. I mean, this is a junkyard. It could have incorporated some of the metals into its exoskeleton. She is certainly very impressive.
I know. Hang on, I'll wake her up. And he walks over and he picks up some large chunk of metal and starts smacking the side of this thing.
Oh, be careful.
No, please don't. We understand.
It's alright, she's really friendly. She cut my hair last time.
She cut your hair?
Yeah.
Like, how did she cut your hair?
He turns towards you and takes his cap off, and he's got like huge slices across his scalp where it looks like he had hair that's been sliced off, and he goes, see? It's all neat and tidy now.
Joe,
Sir,
you-
please do not wake her up.
Joe, you ain't had no hair for the past 12 years.
What?
Please be careful, sir. She could do a lot of damage to you without meaning it.
Well, with that roll, she's getting woke up.
Oh no.
So, after about the fourth, like, twang with this giant metal bit of, it's like an exhaust pipe, this thing animates and just turns, and its eyes glow red, and it looks towards Joe and goes, hello, you've to meet friends. And he sort of waves general direction towards Richard.
Like,
Bad feeling about this.
yeah, I ain't so like, I ain't on board with this. Like, it's nice to meet y'all, but like, I already got like a big crab in my life, and like, I ain't got room for no nother.
Let's see what the thing does. It starts snapping its claws, and at this point you realise the claws are just gigantic metal claws. They
Oh,
just snap, make very... It's kind of like really big scissors.
Does it make that really nice scissor sound?
Yes.
Presumably this is making enough noise that it's pulled the doctor's attention by now. Is there a roll or something to basically tell whether or not it's entirely a mechanical monster, like a sort of lobster-built tank, or if it's an actual living being with augments?
You know what? I do basic science.
Basic science, okay. A 5!
You think it must be completely organic, because It moves as one beast. It must be completely organic.
Why would anyone build a giant lobster? That's like
Exactly.
an impractical way of getting around. It's not even got like caterpillar treads.
It's got like kind of
It's
exhaust
true.
legs that just all kind of like move and it sort of skitters towards you.
It's just really badly built. Okay. Yeah, it must be real. No one would build something this badly, says the doctor.
Joe, if I wasn't so scared for my life right now, me and you'd be having a big talk about like profaning my religious beliefs and all that, but like I feel like we should probably get away first.
Well, is she not the big crab then?
I'm afraid.
No, man.
I'm afraid she's not a crab.
I'm gonna pull out the picture again that I showed Dr. Stein before. See, no, this is Lucille. That ain't no Lucille.
It sort of bumbles over, looks at the picture and goes, "So who's the other one then?"
I ain't entirely sure, Joe, but like, where did you find this?
I was just buried under all the metal.
Interesting. Irwaz would like to run off to one side and look to see if they can see any weaknesses in the metal exoskeleton.
Alright, do me an awareness roll. Yep, you notice that it seems like the sort of exhaust pipe length legs, they don't seem very strong. They don't seem they can support such a massive beast as it's sort of slowly beginning to move forward towards you.
Okay, so there's a weakness. Do I attack first? Or shall we try and get out of here peacefully?
I mean, I'm gonna see y'all attack. Like, first of all, this thing's some sort of affront and abomination to my general religious beliefs. Second,
Don't call her an abomination, she's my goddess.
shut up for a minute, Joe. Second, I'm pretty sure it's trying to kill us, or like, at least on a path it's gonna end up trying to kill us.
She doesn't
And third-
kill, she just likes discipline.
I say we get the hell out of here.
Look,
I
Joe,
think running
Joe,
away.
I get that you is worshipping this grieving idol, but like, we're gonna have to leave right now, Joe.
But you've just woke her up. Just talk to her.
Yeah, the doctor will go over and be like, "Hello," and wave.
And the creature just looks down, snaps its massive claws and goes,
Was it a very aggressive snapping, or was it just snapping in the air and shouting?
it doesn't seem to be able to do quick snapping, so just kind of like, you know, that kind of like jaws of life snapping, as in like it could cut through anything when it closes.
Yeah,
Just that kind of snapping.
but it's very
got one-
slow. But was it like swinging its arms at me or anything? Or was it just
It's sort of
snapping?
They are moving independent of each other, but they are moving very slowly.
Okay.
It looks quite cumbersome.
Okay, well, the doctor's going to meander away then and go to the caravans, like the other ones, not Joe's.
Mm-hmm.
And did you say that they had a sign written on them?
Yep.
On the door?
Said Our Lady of Snipping Claw.
Okay, she's going to knock on the door.
Alright.
Tap, tap, tap.
Let's see if it doesn't answer. Yep, the door is answered by what looks like another kind of crab person who just immediately looks at you and looks confused and sort of tilts its head slightly towards you.
She'll just stand back and point at the lobster without saying anything. Just points at it.
She's awake.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
Simon, she's awake.
And 2 or 3 crab people making their way out start walking towards, looking like they're trying to make sort of like calm down motions.
The doctor's just going to stand and watch this with polite interest now. She doesn't feel in any sort of danger.
Which side's their claw on?
The right side, Barry.
Just so that check is very important. Look, a convenient and easy way to understand the disposition of a crab person. Like I said, man, it's like some left brain, right brain stuff.
So, how is Giant Lobster Lady responding?
Her legs don't look like they've got enough to lift her, they just have enough to drag her forward, so she's just slowly dragging herself towards, and like you, Richard and Joe.
Did all the crab people leave the caravan?
You look inside, the caravan looks like it has a small table that they were all sitting at. You do see a couple more figures in this gloom inside, and you do notice, you know the sort of eerie glow you get around altars?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's an altar of some kind in there as well.
Okay, so I'm going to go in the little caravan and just start snooping about.
Alright.
Have I managed to pull this theremin out of the trash heap yet? Am I still... Oh,
Basically been playing with this theremin for the last 10 minutes.
I see. I thought I was still trying to pull it out. I didn't realise I
Oh, you
did.
can't seem to extract it from the bottom, but you have extracted enough that you can play with it where it sits. So you have had to put
Fair.
your omatone down to play with this.
I'm just-
As you do
You can only carry one instrument, Tam Tam. What you gonna do?
It's like Halo, you have to drop one.
I
Yeah.
refuse to answer that question. That's not something that is going.
I give him a tap on the case and say, I'll help you pull them back.
You don't have a weapon wheel, you just have 2 equipment slots.
So what is everyone doing at this point? I know what the doctor's doing, so what's Richard and Erwas doing?
Irwaz was standing off to the side of the lobster
Mm-hmm.
because they were looking for the weaknesses in the exoskeleton,
Mm-hmm.
but they didn't want to fire first because this appears to be Joe's god. Irwaz thinks that he's absolutely insane, but they're still not going to fire first.
Look, Joe, I get you. This thing means a lot to y'all, but like, I'm afraid for my life right now. And like,
I mean, there's no fear, just join the religion, it's brilliant.
I mean, I was kind of already involved with one.
Oh, have you got one of
Y'all
these
just gonna have
yourself
to
then?
You're just gonna have to forgive me, Joe. And can I just pull out my handgun and shoot it?
Sure. Roll handgun. Yep, you shoot a bullet, it goes right through the head. There's a sort of strange hissing sound, and you hear Joe go, "Oh no, you've made it angry."
I'm pretty sure we're pretty angry before, Joe.
There is what I can only describe as like a giant clock is ticking.
Can we all hear the ticking noise?
Yes. And Joe goes, "Oh no, you've started Armageddon, Richard."
Can I hear the ticking noise in the caravan?
No, you're far enough away, you don't hear it.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm going to get in the boot just to be safe.
Again, what in the 7 hells y'all talking about, Joe? Where'd you learn
started
about
the
something
clock
like that?
Ticking. Listen, you can hear it ticking. Gods aren't meant to tick, Richard.
Correct.
I can hear the clock. Yeah, you're right, gods do not click, which probably implies that this thing is not no god.
Yeah, but if it explodes, what am I gonna do?
Well, I would suggest that we
It.
leave.
You're not leaving me here with that my god about to explode?
I mean, I was going to leave, and you can leave too. I ain't going, but like, what you do is up to you, Joe. We is all our own shepherd.
But you just shot my god.
I mean, yeah, Joe, I did, and
I
look,
thought you
I'm
just
real
said-
sorry.
I thought you just said that gods shouldn't tick. So if it's ticking, then it's not a god.
Well, it's a really bad sign that it's ticking.
It
Hey.
is.
Look.
Can you get him further away from here? And Irwaz pulls out her bow to try and take this creature down.
Around the head area of this lobster-like creature, steam starts pouring out of it.
Ooh. Okay, Irwaz is going to try and hit some of those vulnerable spots.
Alright.
And nope.
Nope. So all the steam and smoke, you miss completely.
Does the lobster react to the arrow or bolt?
Not really, no. It seems to just even slower than before snip its pincers shut and open again. At this point, the crab people are still desperately trying to calm down the other end of the lobster. What is Tam Tam doing?
Other playing the theremin.
Are you just enjoying playing with theremin at the moment?
I mean, should I roll awareness check just to see if I'm aware of what's going on around?
He thinks the ticking's a metronome.
Yeah.
It's like tires from Spaced. It's just gonna join in a background beat for him as it's going on. Oh, you're aware of it, but you're kind of enjoying the groove at the moment.
I mean, that's absolutely true. Whether or not I notice it is completely irrelevant to the fact that whether or not I realise it's actually a ticking bomb or some sort of metronome. I'm pretty sure it's a metronome. So I'm going to keep playing.
Fair enough. Can the
It's
doctor
playing
be
7
aware
by
of this
3.
roll? Inside the thing, amongst all the crabs who look like they're in midst of praying, she notices a large console with lots of like buttons and knobs and keys and such like.
Do they protest if I go over towards it?
Let's see if any of them notice. Nope, none of them notice you.
Okay, I would.
Walk
I would-
up to it and none of them seem to do anything.
Okay, I would like to examine the console.
Roll, let's say, electronics.
Is there a curtain with like a really short guy in a megaphone being like, I am the Wizard of Oz?
I did that entirely the wrong channel. I did that to a friend, so she'll be like, why the fuck are you typing roll d20 plus 4 on it?
After examining the console, you find that there is a big flashing red button, and beneath the red button says Vent Steam.
Oh, I'm going to hit vent steam. See what happens.
Alright, can Irwaz and... Actually, Irwaz is out of the way, isn't she?
Yes, they went off to one
Can
side.
Richard please do me a roll, because I have to roll for Joe. Richard gets kind of like steam breath straight onto him. So let's roll some damage for this.
A rather delicious smell fills the air.
You only get slightly cooked. Only take 2 damage. But yes, you have been engulfed in a wave of steam.
What happens on the console?
The light begins to change from red back to orange.
Oh, okay. So this is quite clearly a control panel.
It's a control panel of sorts, yes. You don't actually know what it's doing. All you heard is the sort of like sound of there must be air venting somewhere.
Oh.
The red danger light seems to be going down from like bright red to like slightly orange.
Okay, I would like to do more things to make the red warning light go away.
Alright. So there are several keys that look like they should have been kept somewhere else, but they're in the console at the moment. You can turn them, you can press random buttons, dial random knobs. What do you want to do?
Well, ideally, I'd like to try and figure out how to use it. So ideally, if there was a shutdown button, like an emergency shutdown button or something, she would
Alright.
go for
Give me an
that.
awareness check.
Okay.
You have a look, you find that there's a large power lead leading into the console.
Oh, okay. I mean, that could work, or that could not work. Okay, so she's going to run to the door of the caravan and be like, "Hey guys, I found a control panel, I can unplug it. Should I?"
I mean, my burns say yeah.
Does that mean
control
it will
panel?
control though?
I don't know. Is there like a cable going from the caravan to Lobster?
It just seems to be a cable going from somewhere deep underneath the junkyard up into this caravan and then plugs into the side of this control panel.
I'm going to go back in and just like press more buttons and knobs to like vent steam and
Alright, roll.
turn it off.
Roll me 2d20. Just randomly, let's see what happens.
Okay.
The first one, the claws suddenly go from really slowly to lightning fast.
Oops!
But they don't do anything else, they just click. Second one's more worrying, more steam bathes Richard, so Richard, do me another dodge roll.
Sorry, Richard.
It's not much better.
Yeah. So she runs back to the door at this point and goes, "Did that help?"
Richard has been engulfed by like molten hot steam. He is significantly painful, but he's not dead, he's just significantly in pain.
No, it is
Oh,
not
get Erwa and
helpful.
ask the question again. Erwa, did that help?
Stop venting steam.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
just
stop.
unplug it then.
Yeah.
Stop pressing the steam button.
Okay. So she'll go and just pull the cable out.
Alright, let's see what happens when you pull the cable out. Natural 20. Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Can... Bower's already rolling. Can you do me a roll, please, Bowery and Irwaz and Tam Tam?
Hello?
Just do me
Why
a
am I
roll,
rolling?
just a normal d20 roll to see how it goes.
I thought I was
13.
far enough away to avoid all this nonsense.
We will find it. Just D20.
No,
What
you
the
need to have control D20.
P20.
Oh, well,
That was
no.
just
I
too
had to roll
close.
for Joe. There is a massive explosion.
Oops.
Guys, I'm trying to enjoy my theremin over here. Can you please just keep
Tam
it down?
Tam gets smacked in full force by a flying crab person.
Okay.
Natural 20. Basically like crumpling the side of him. And he's
Oh, no.
spinning end over end and lands in a heap on the ground.
Wait a minute. How's the theremin?
Thurman is still sitting on top of the mountain that you were on.
Oh, thank God.
But you are...
More-
One of your hover jets has stopped working and your entire, let's say, your entire right side has been, like, crushed. So it's like a
More-
full end now.
More importantly, wasn't Index inside you.
It's
Yeah.
alright. Storage compartment's on the back.
And
She
next
had
give me
to
a
soft
roll.
spot too.
Oh no.
Sorry.
Why did you say anything?
Because I felt like bad fix. He's like,
What
is my...
happened?
Because I felt bad.
Index is fine.
He was all like, oh no, not the theremin. And I'm like,
Index
but
has
isn't your
learned
create?
the- Index has learned the ancient prophecy of get in sock and cower.
She's been in that sock cowering the entire time. Second the last
80% of the time, it works every time.
She sort of pokes her head out of the sock and just sees that inner wall of Tam Tam is now a sort of concave towards her.
dives
Sorry,
straight
we
back
can-
into the sock.
We can bash that out of him, it'll be fine.
She's gonna quickly get out of the compartment and be like, oh my god, are you okay?
No, and I'm saying, where's the theremin gone? It was right here.
I'll find it! And I start rooting around for the theremin.
I'm not sure how much Tam Tam could function right now. Really?
Sorry, we have a flatbed truck waiting for us to escape on. It's cool.
Yeah, fair enough.
The doctor saw this go in a certain direction and went, transport.
Most of the junkyard is now on fire.
Is my truck okay?
Your truck's probably fine. Yeah,
Awesome.
I'll say it's far enough away, it's fine.
She would have parked it up by the gate.
What has happened to the lobster?
Yeah.
The lobster has been exploded into several 100,000 pieces.
Okay.
At this point, Joe stands
And
up and
a
goes,
lot of
"You
lobsters."
killed my god, Richard!
Technically it was the doctor.
You made it
But, like-
explode!
Look, we'll find you a new one, I swear. I knows a couple.
Richard, you're not meant to explode people's gods. This is really unnice."
Look, I know, but like,
Offensive.
it was a matter of self-defense.
What do you mean self-defense? You just turned up and shot my god in the face.
No, I shot your god in the face because it was coming to me with them big claws.
It didn't even get
Maybe
near
if you hadn't hit it with that like metal pipe of yours, like it would have been chill, but like it weren't.
It's really offensive to kill someone's god. Can't do that.
The doctor at this point is going to try and slip out of the caravan as quietly as she can and go and get in the truck and just wait for everybody else to turn up.
Look,
Aren't you going to scavenge
so
some of the god parts?
No.
I'm real sorry, Joe. Maybe you could put it back together.
But I didn't build her in the first place, Richard.
Yeah, but how hard can
Don't
it be,
build
like?
gods, Richard.
How hard can it be?
How
to
hard
build
can
a
it be?
I can't even do it properly at that point. I can't even feign how angry he is in an accent. How can you build a god, Richard? I don't know where to start.
I know, like, tab A goes into slot B and all that.
Joe, I am very sure that your faith in your god will help you to rebuild her. You can do this.
Yeah, that.
Well, you're barred, Richard. Get out of my junkyard.
Happily.
Irwaz grabs hold of Richard and starts dragging him towards the truck.
I did not blow up the damn whatever
I
the hell that
know.
was.
But arguing with him isn't gonna help.
I did not blow up that crab.
Attack its weak point for massive damage.
So all went a bit Monster Hunter.
I think we maybe want to get out of here.
Yeah, that. I at least ain't welcome no more. I don't know about y'all. He seems to have forgotten about you guys.
Well, he didn't see the rest of us attack her. Somehow.
Though he did see you when you just turned round, drew your gun and shot his god through the head.
It was a matter of self-defense.
You keep telling yourself that.
Besides, we all know that thing went no god. It was a grieving idol.
There is no such thing as God. Shut up. Index is just freaking out at the moment, desperately trying to damn them.
I got a picture of me with one. I'll show y'all it again.
We blew one of them up.
Index!
Excuse me?
Uh-oh.
Index is just fucking pissed right now.
I'm going to pull up. I don't actually know what it's called, but what's the meme music when something's just gone wrong?
Do you mean the one
Wah,
from the
wah.
Do you mean the wah wah, or do you mean
Maybe.
Or the theme from the show I can't remember the name of that we
Curb Your
also...
Enthusiasm?
Dun,
Yeah.
dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
Yeah.
I would say we're more It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia as a crew.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, like, because we always start off with good intentions and then we just totally get the wrong end of the stick. So, yeah, picture that theme tune a lot.
Has the Doctor ever had good intentions?
She's always got good intentions.
Yeah, good for her.
Intentions are not malicious.
Oh,
That's a different thing.
yeah. She just wants to build shit. It doesn't matter if, you know, the stuff she needs to build shit has happened to being held in someone else's hands. You know,
So-
mad
Or is
scientist.
attached to someone?
Yeah, you got to do what you got to do.
I imagine the damage I've taken means that the music quality is probably going to be a bit iffy, but I'm sure,
it's
you know.
quite like we've only got one speaker that seems to work, and it seems to.
Oh crap, which is it?
It's your left one's one that works because your right side's completely caved in.
But it's still playing in stereo.
Ah, yeah.
So like that's the worst thing, you know, like when one earphone goes and so you don't get like the guitar.
You have bits of the song
Yeah.
in one ear. You don't get that bit of the song anymore. Yeah.
I need to reference back to the drawing that was made of Tam Tam, so I can work out what parts of me have been blown to hell and what parts of me are safe. Where did you put that photo?
Your like your speaker is like the entire
Weeks
front
ago.
half of you.
Yeah, it's true. I'm kind of worried now. How much have I lost in which side was it, left or right?
What the fuck was that?
Who just got attacked by seagulls?
You've lost.
Oh yeah, there's secrets out the front door.
If you've lost the right side when you rolled a 2, you're only just still functional.
Yeah.
Yeah. How wide one end to one end was Tam Tam?
Oh
I
Jesus.
always imagined him like the size of one of those really big bouncy balls.
Like
You know the
the
ones, the exercise balls.
Like a yoga ball.
I was
Yeah.
imagining more like, you know, the first layer of a hi-fi setup.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I always imagined more like that. But I mean, you made him, so like,
All right.
you would.
So, did I say I'd lost my left side?
Your right side.
Okay, so my Uzi is still on because my Uzi is
Uzi's
attached to my
fine.
left side. I've lost half my speakers.
You've lost, let's say,
one-
the front of the boxes along the front, let's say, to the third row. It's like halfway through the second row, and third row is just caved in.
Yeah, and I've probably buggered half of my processor and power core. So even if I could use my remaining hoverjet, because I'm gonna say that it's probably also knocked out the rear one, at least out of alignment.
Hmm.
Oh bollocks! I'm really dinged up, aren't I? Half of me is
Yeah.
basically gone.
We're basically carrying you back to the truck.
I'm basically sitting on top of Tam Tam right now, fur bristling, screaming to myself, desperately trying to sort shit.
Oh,
Index
you're
is
really-
thoroughly not okay. Keep Richard away from her or she will threaten to kill him like a god.
Oops.
It wasn't
Why?
Richard that
Wait, did I lose my little
What's that?
springy antenna as well?
Oh, I know, but she
Oh,
wasn't
damn it.
bloody
No,
listening.
you've got
so-
you've kept your little antenna. That's fine.
Springy one on the right hand side. I've lost that springy one. Oh, that's annoying. That was the
What?
nice, cool one.
Why do we always take it out on me?
Usually
It's
because
fine.
you're somehow responsible. I don't know how you do it, by the
I
way.
had nothing to do with this one.
You managed to get
Here,
into
let
an-
me show you. Shoot
A
A
face
voice in the
of God.
distance just sort of quietly turns around and goes, "You killed my god, Richard."
That weren't me. I just shot it that one time.
oh, for
It's not a very good god if shooting it one time kills it.
We're gonna kill you in a minute if you don't shut up.
He has a talent for antagonizing NPCs.
At
There.
this point, Urwaz cuts in and is like,
Belts him over the head. Just drags him back
Richard
to the...
did not cause that explosion. So either shut up or direct it at the right person. And then looks at the back of the doctor.
The doctor's in the truck fiddling with the radio, so
Yeah.
she's not seeing it.
I'd like to
Urwaz
have a
just
hand.
glares at all of them and then looks at the doctor and drags Richard into the truck.
I'm gonna say I'm unconscious because I don't think losing half of my electronics that make me me.
You're still sort of like vaguely conscious, but all you seem to keep repeating is, "Where's that theremin?"
Oh.
So I can't say anything, but if you guys would be obliged, you know, picking me up, grabbing the theremin, and probably picking up the autophone, automaton that I dropped earlier, and sling it onto the back. Most appreciative.
Hey, when you
Index have
got
managed to find both your antennas and is there just clutching the side of her head, silently screaming.
We can make him better.
We have the technology.
We can give him another grapper arm, and then he can have 2 arms. It's perfect. She'll reach out, like, assuming you're all in the truck now. She'll, like, give him a little pat and be like, "It's fine. We can rebuild him, and we'll build him better."
just replace Texas fishbowl with him?
Yeah, give him legs, and then he'll have arms.
Index internally screaming the entire conversation. She is not okay right now.
Just tries to glue the antenna back in.
Urwaz is incredibly confused. Because...
Desperately humming along all of Tam Tam's favourite songs, trying to get a response.
Oh,
And you all know what a theremin even is.
It's
I-
a Star Trek instrument.
I would guess by Tam Tam's reaction, it's an instrument. But,
I just have this image of Index standing over a broken Tam Tam shouting, "What city did we build it on, Tam Tam? What city?"
Absolutely.
Oh, poor Tam Tam.
Like clutching the two antennae, holding them up to the sky. Dramatic as fuck.
Dramatic as fuck, hoping that God will strike lightning at it and just put him out of his misery.
No, fix him.
Oh yes, the magic fixing lightning, sorry.
Yes.
Oh no. Just sitting behind him with the gun pointed at the back of whatever counts as his head is think of the theremins.
Don't you dare.
Raz is completely confused because, as far as they're concerned, this is much easier to fix than biologicals.
Oh yeah, the doctor's in complete agreement. It's way
If his
easier.
personality chip is damaged. Ah!
Alright, well, I will assume that you basically get the fuck out of there on your flatbed truck. How are you going to get your flatbed truck into the base, or are you just going to leave it outside?
Does it not have like a garage door?
It does have the lift that comes up, but is someone going to go in and open it, or...?
Yeah.
Sure, I'll go in and open it.
Alright, so you get the new flatbed truck into the garage, and it just fits next to the helicopter.
Nice. The doctor stands and admires this. Like, yes.
And as the global surveillance satellite moves out of range, we lose sight and sound, for now. Hopefully signal will return again soon. Until then, the cast of 2115 were Amy, Belry, Dragon, John, Rowan, Susie, Tom and Nikolai. With music by Daniel Bostrom and artwork by John Moore. All tales and experiences within 2115 were created by Nikolai Popsky before being broken and reshaped by the cast into an eternal sense of hopeless dystopia. But if the threat of eternal dystopia looms in your future, comfort yourself with the finest icosahedrons in the land from dndice.co.uk, where the name Penance RPG at checkout will shave 10% off your order and make that fear lessen, at least for a while. Penance RPG exists only through the kind support of patrons and quiet sobbing into the void. If you would like to assist in the balance of support versus our crying hungrily in the fetal position, come to patreon.com/penancerpg and choose one of our epic rewards. We are eternally grateful for any support you could give. Farewell for now, and remember, smile! It might never happen!
Since we have a slight little bit of time remaining this episode, what are you going to do to Tam Tam so we can start him with his new body next week?
First up, repair those speakers.
So, using the sort of casualty, like...
We carry him down onto the lab. Like, we go and we get, like, a little trolley and put him on it, and we can put a sheet down and, like, hustle him through. Get the fluffies already, get them to, like, scrub up and put on masks.
What is the result of the fluffies in science, though, when we get back?
Yeah!
Oh, that's a good point, actually. Let me just check that. I haven't checked that one yet. Fluffies plus science equals a D200. 61.
Oh.
There's a slight chunk of the lab that's on fire, and as you sort of wheel a sort of Tam Tam in on the trolley, some of them sort of stand with their back to it, like, if we all stand together, see the fire behind us.
Oh, I love them. I'm going to, like, Dr. Stein's going to be so proud. She'll, like, go in and she'll get distracted. She'll, like, does she have a camera? She'll take a picture of them, like, Fluffy's first lab fire. You know, put out
On the
fire.
other hand, Index is grabbling for the nearest fire extinguisher, still screaming. She's having a stressful day, guys.
His Index had a not stressful day.
Since you got her
Probably
hearing
not.
back, it's not really been the easiest time.
Yeah, no, she's not doing good. She needs shit sorted. Doesn't like the fire. Also, her best friend is kind of half dead.
Hey man, I'm telling y'all, that Joe was always kind of an asshole.
She sprays the fire extinguisher at the crab.
No, that goes on the flames. Point it at the base.
I was, and then he made a bad joke.
I was making no joke. I'm saying that Joe was always kind of an asshole, and I'm sorry he blew up your speaker.
Well, it wasn't him that technically blew up, it was the flying crab person that took Tam Tam out in the air, but yeah.
Oh, he said Joe. I thought he said he was talking about Tam Tam. I said he didn't like Tam Tam, and I was getting.
Ah.
No.
So, what are you doing with Tam Tam? Cool, do the sort of delicate operation, can they save Tam Tam?
Yeah, I think we should give him another grabber.
As he's sort of deliriously going like bassoon every 5 seconds.
Can I duct tape my harmonica to the side of him?
New speakers, tapping out the casing so it's back to where it should be. Any internal damage, I assume, has also to be fixed. I'm not very good with computers, I'll be honest.
Well, my power source, I battery powered, so whatever neat batteries have been keeping me going this whole time, somehow, doing all the things that I do. Probably.
You're rechargeable.
I imagine you charge them at night.
He's powered by a single AAA.
We plug him in.
Don't be ridiculous. It's 3 AAAs and a double A
Come
just
on,
to make things
2 watt
confusing.
batteries at least.
An LR44.
Please don't talk to me about LRs. I've had a bad experience with some calculator about 2 weeks ago.
Tam Tam
as a guy-
3 times in a row. Ugh.
LR44s tend to be the ones that are most commonly used in like any sort of light up feature in like a figure, and so yeah, I have to deal with
I
them
see,
a
I
lot.
see. So I'm imagining probably most of my casing is going to be to replacing of speakers are going to an overhaul. I think the
Yeah.
other side is fine. I need my antennas reattached. The Uzi's fine.
Your hoverjet. There was one at the back or
Hoverjet
something.
needs replacing. Actually, if I'm going to be put on Tex's old body, maybe it doesn't need replacing.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Texie's old body could be used for parts, or we could just adapt you onto Texie's old body. It's really...
Have you
I like the
considered?
concept of being adapted onto Tex's old body.
Do you really
'Cause then
want
I
to
get-
lose the ability to fly, though?
We could make him detachable. So, like, he could have, like, a couple of little hoverjets, right? And then he, like, clocks in and, you know, he'd, like, land and then, like, twist, like, log onto the suit and the legs and arms. And then he could
God.
detach himself to float off.
You mean like the original plan when
For Valerie.
Tex had spider legs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Only he's got hoverjets and can...
Instead of spider legs.
Yeah.
We should probably
guess the
like
problem-
increase the hoverjets as well, then, and give them an upgrade. It's a
Yes.
bit more powerful.
Question.
Actual
Do we have enough
like,
parts to fit me to it? And
Oh, yeah.
repair
I
me?
assume with the number of mechanical creatures
Yeah.
you've taken down in this
Yes.
series so far and the Doctor's kleptomania, you've always got enough pieces.
I mean,
Yeah, I was going to say, after
right.
the amount of shit she's been accumulating, like, I have a bag of augments that has not been examined further. There is so much junk.
Oh wait, is there
Mm-hmm.
voice box?
I could certainly probably take one out of Terry's head.
Perhaps a lung?
if it came to it, could we salvage a Fluffy for parts?
No.
No, not.
They don't have
Okay,
parts.
fair.
They're just
Sorry.
they're just teddy bears.
How-
We don't really have
how
any
do they-
internal.
How do they work?
We don't know. We
Magic.
never figured that out.
No idea.
It's the same
Ran
way
out
we've
of
not
time.
figured out how the mechanical monkey worked, so we've just put a sheet over it.
Same
there's
way we
one.
don't know why Stan is still hanging around us. We just
I
accept
mean-
the fact and move on.
Yeah, I mean, we could take the parts out of Terry's head and put them onto Tam Tam somehow.
To make a request that, however it ends up being, can I please have like lips and a voice box and a lung, enough to play a harmonica or a
Well-
flute?
So
It wouldn't be
What
hard
you
to
would
make an
need-
inflatable bag.
all
or
you
a
need is
bellows.
lifts and an air pump. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all it's
Yeah,
needed.
anything.
Yeah,
But we
definitely
got Terry's
that.
head, so I was thinking, I could just use that.
So you want us
I'd
to
say-
attach like Terry's head just on the top of Tam Tam?
I just have this
could
image
look
that
like,
Tam Tam's got internal bagpipe.
I mean, it would be like an
That's
air
amazing.
bladder and a fish, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
That's amazing. I love all these ideas. I don't know how it's going to work in practice, though.
genuinely, we need to get you 2 proper arm grabbers so you can actually play instruments and an
Yeah.
airbag, most importantly. I think we should upgrade your thrusters, sort out all the dents and the wiring issues that may have occurred, because let's be honest,
Yeah.
I botched half of you.
Fix
More
all
powerful
the things
speakers.
that are broken, like the
Definitely.
speakers, my batteries, my processors, storage, etc. Internal
I mean-
bits and bobs.
Get onto the radio so you can like listen to
Oh,
music
yeah.
and play music. I think a radio would be super cool. and maybe like
I do have a radio in there, actually. It's just, it hasn't worked in a long time. Something to do with a loose connection.
and like
If we're gonna
increase your
come
data
on-
bank so you can have more musical things
Oh
stored.
my god. Man,
If
I'm
we're
just
gonna
going to be a walking machine marvel.
If we're going to chuck him on Tex's body anyway, there's the arms taken care of.
That's true.
Also,
I'm trying to
do you
imagine
ta-
something that big on legs that small though.
Tex was quite big though. Tex wasn't small.
The legs were big.
Yeah, when he
Legs
yeah,
felt
obviously when he was
big.
a fish tank, yeah. But yeah,
Yeah.
his actual body was just wobbly, if I remember correctly.
It was
But
a bit
more,
shit.
yeah, it was more wobbly because you insisted on having a glass bowl with no lid. I have a feeling that the Roomba would manage much better. Sorry,
he would run out of air eventually if
just
he had a
put
lid.
oxygen tablets in and open the lid occasionally. I used to have a fish tank with a lid. It was fine.
Where are you going to get
of mine
oxygen
do.
tablets in this
You
economy?
You don't need them.
But point aside, before we get sidetracked about, fish bowls, I think Tam Tam would be just fine on Tex's body.
I wouldn't wish my body on anyone, I'll be honest. It's not that
I
good.
think we can build him something better because I think Tex was quite scrappy.
Yeah, that was kind of half the point, that he was kind of a bit shit.
Yeah. Let's be honest though, everything we build is going to be a little bit shit.
But at least he had 2 arms.
He did have 2 arms.
We can definitely graft his arms onto Tam Tam. I think that'd be a good idea. We can have little arms, and then he can play the guitar.
So is it Tam Tam now getting Tex's body? Or is he just getting the arms?
No,
We
the
should.
whole body.
We should place magnets on the hands so that he can play the theremin as well.
Don't you just need, like, hands?
You don't need to be magnetic to do it. You just need to break the.
I thought the work didn't changes in magnetic field.
I think they do, but you change it by physically blocking it with your hand.
Fair. I don't know, I'm not a theremin scientist.
Because I clearly am.
I don't know. You're more confident about it, and that's enough.
Oh no! You've discovered my secret.
Well, that's dragon noted. So,
Yeah, welcome to adult life.
Pretty much.
Just sounding confident is enough.
Sound confident and people don't question you.
Actual conversations from up north.
Right, first of all, that is a Brummie accent and not up north.
Depends
Yeah.
how far south you are.
You're all south.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was just genuinely offended at the implication that Birmingham was in the north.
I think that's fair.
I mean, right, we get that
Midlands.
we get that you guys in the south don't want Birmingham. We don't want Birmingham. That's why the Midlands exist.
Yep. I mean, yep.
Oh, Johnny's gonna
I
click
cannot
that.
argue with that.
What was that? Sorry.
send this clip to John and he's going to be really angry.
John is going to kick your ass, Bellery.
It's fine. He thinks that about Birmingham as well.
It sounded like snuffing, and that made no sense.
Her Lady of the Snuffing Claw would be something completely different.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one of the granddaughters should really sort of tobacco.
It does fit with the accent quite well.
That's I need to think of a southern sounding name.
Like
Laureen.
Yeah, that's Lorraine.
Laureen.
It's better than Tamara, which was the only one I could think of.
So we've now got Loretta, Lucille, and Laureen. Just check into this while I'm making a note.
They've got a theme going on with the elves.
We've got a little bit of a theme going on with these crabs, but I'm gonna make sure I make a note of this so I remember it for later.
Yeah, they mix like real good gumbo.
Are we going to have an episode where we all have to do a southern accent? Because that would be awesome.
I'm sure we could. I've already fucking forgotten the name of this crab, so that's the
Lorraine.
Laureen.
Laureen, not Lorraine.
Laureen.
It's like Lauren with more ease, yeah.
Yeah, it's like they try to call her Lorraine, but like they forgot the letter I existed.
Yeah,
No, they just they weren't aware of the letter I, and so like it's Loreen.
the crab people, you're not going to argue with them.
What fish has 10 eyes?
Horseshoe crabberry has 10 eyes. I've just googled it.
Horseshoe crabs are not actually crabs. Crabs are just their closest living relatives.
We are arthropods.
I feel like we haven't decided on a species of crab, though. That is important, and we'll figure that out later.
Should we just say you've got 2 eyes since you're a weird hybrid?
Yeah, but like these big little crab ass. In fact, most crabs have 2 eyes.
As I said, horseshoe crabs aren't actually crabs.
Alright.
See, I want to hear more about the Mr. E and Officer A tire arc.
Well, that'll come back.
Oh yeah, we're all invested in that one.
It's just taking a couple episodes for stuff to happen in the background.
Yeah, they've got to have their absent time. Maybe we should have another beach episode.
God.
Actual beach episode as well this time.
Yeah, I don't recommend we take Richard to the other beach.
God, no. No.
He would instantly summon all the crabs and then we would all...
Do I get crab summons?
Arise, my mighty Pingami.
just a wave of tiny crabs.
No, man, when Richard gets his limit break, it's just a 10-story crab descends from the sky.
Jesus. I
that's
still
fucked
need
up,
my
man.
mech body though. I still want to be a rack in a mech suit.
Is that what's next? Is it after putting Tam Tam in one?
I guess so.
What if to save Tam Tam, he has to like...
Mix it.
Yeah.
Oh god.
I can get behind that.
Well, that would at least help you have the deployable head, because Index could control the two, and then you could split when you need to.
Yes! Oh, what do you think?
I
It
think
can be
Power
done.
Ranger-
It can be
Go
done.
Power Ranger!
I suppose it's much more like Belry will probably know better what it's more like.
Yes, I could point you to multiple, or at least 2 pieces of media where that's a thing. Headmasters and a character in Iron-Blooded Orphans.
Headmaster's the Transformer series.
It is, yes.
Yeah, I've seen it. It's very weird, but yes, it is.
It is. Or the one where the people turn into engine blocks. But I can't
Yeah.
remember the name of that. Power Masters, yes.
It was Headmasters and was it not Gunmasters or something where they turned into
No.
as well?
It was Power Masters where they turned into engine blocks. And I can't remember. Yeah, and then there was a gun thing, but I think the gun thing was just a different thing. Where they became guns is like, they're just a gun.
Alright, well, decide by next week if you want to have Index in a power mix.
Index turns into a cassette tape.
I would finally be able to fucking fight!
Yep.
No, not a cassette tape, because that's already a thing. Index turns into a laser disc.
I'm just imagining now Index cackling her head off in a mech suit. Granny Rat cackling in a mech suit. We need this.
We do.
She needs a machete.
Where did the machete come from?
I don't know, I just imagine her with a machete somehow.
It's not even a machete, it's like a just really sharp magnetic blade that just makes lots of whoosh sounds.
Yes! Oh, that'd be so cool.
I also have a question. Did we bring the theremin back?
If Index
Should
dug it
have.
out and brought it, then yes.
I think so.
You could put the theremin
Oh,
on
God.
Tam Tam.
There was a point in between me rolling around on the ground going, "Where's my theremin?" and then suddenly we were on the truck heading home, and I wasn't sure if the theremin had actually been brought back with us, despite my mentioning.
I think me finding it was like the first thing I did because you kept saying it, so therefore she just panic brained it. Okay, and went and found it as best as she could
He
anyway.
needs the theremin to live.
And then she gets it, and then she kind of realizes like, what the fuck am I meant to do with this? And then starts panicking a bit more productively.
Index turns into a theremin, and that's how she controls Mech Tam Tam.
How?
I think what you mean is Index's sword has actually got theremin built into it, so it makes the noise of, like, when she goes to hit something, it changes pitch. I assume with the Tam Tam upgrade being the final thing that happens this episode, we will stop there. Does anyone have anything you wish to add before we stop?
I don't like
Yeah, that joke-
pockets anymore.
That Joe guy, he's kind of an asshole. Always was.
Fuck you, Richard. You killed my god, you bastard.
I
It
feel,
was a shit god anyway.
I feel that Joe probably needs someone to look after him. But I don't
Nah,
think
man, he's just an
someone is
asshole.
out here.
We could adopt him.
Well, you could if you want.
I don't think that would work anymore. I think he's decided that this is all Richard's fault and would never hear the end of it. That would get really tedious.
As far as he's concerned, Richard's the only person he saw shoot at the giant thing.
I thought he saw me.
He saw you, like you didn't hit it even remotely close.
Plus, it was obscured by steam at that point.
Yeah. Plus, he then shot steam at Richard twice and then exploded.
Yeah, but it didn't explode after one of us like visibly did anything to it.
Yeah,
so he
but
shouldn't be blaming us anyway.
You only saw you and Richard doing something and then the thing exploding.
But
so it's
what?
logic.
I mean, to be fair, I can understand why I would think that, like...
Didn't do anything.
It's the logic on what he saw, which is that, you know, Richard shot his god in the face and then his god exploded. He might have heard the doctor scream, "I found the control panel!" But I don't think he put the two and two together that the control panel was controlling the metal creature.
Oh dear. That is unfortunate. Yeah, I don't think we'll be able to adopt Joe to look after him.
At least until after Richard dies 3 episodes from now.
Yeah, I think that's going to be bare minimum.
Just please tell me you're not going to play Joe after this, Barry.
Oh god.
Don't give him ideas.
Oh, I'm getting ideas, like...